And Missouri Senator Josh Hawley this week won Senate approval for a budget amendment that says no U.S. tax dollars can go to companies based in China or owned by China. Now, the COVID-19 pandemic exposed major shortages in the nation's drug and medical supply chains and the dependence of the United States on China in that market. So where does Uncle Sam buy medicine for Medicaid and Medicare patients if China is out of the loop? Sinclair's Kermit Miller reports.
They're lobbying.
Josh Hawley has never missed an opportunity to throw down with China. Remember TikTok?
We'll tell the truth about what this app is. We'll do our jobs and protect Americans.
Now it's the federal budget with another shutdown deadline looming.
We need to fund our military. We need to get these other aid appropriation bills passed. We need to support Israel.
Hawley's focus has not shifted.
This amendment says that none of the money we are appropriating can go to China. It can't go to Chinese companies or companies that are owned and controlled by China. That's it. It's simple. No American taxpayer dollars to the People's Republic of China.
You'd be surprised how much money China gets from grants, from procurement, which is just government buying, government contracts.
Which raises the question of pharmaceuticals. The COVID pandemic exposed America's reliance on China for the base components in common medicines. And the Atlantic Council says that dependence has grown, not abated, over the past 3 years, driven by antibiotics and cancer drugs. Uncle Sam uses tax dollars to buy drugs for patients in the Medicaid and Medicare programs.
Something like 90% of the fundamental ingredients that go into many of the drugs, not the actual drug itself, comes from China.
Hawley says his amendment is attached to appropriations for agriculture and housing and urban development and does not apply to pharmaceuticals. But that doesn't mean it shouldn't.
If we can't make it here, we at least ought to buy it from allies. I mean, we shouldn't be lining the pockets of the Chinese Communist Party.
Thanks, Kermit. Now, the Senate adopted Hawley's amendment to end that by a vote of 61 to 38. Now, in other Missouri news, CVS Health is vowing to remedy a range of workplace issues that led to pharmacists walking off the job and closing multiple drugstores in and around Kansas City, Missouri. The nation's largest retail pharmacy chain saw a dozen of its locations shut down unexpectedly on September 21st and the 22nd in protests that spread this week to include nearly 24 drugstores across the Kansas City metropolitan area. Published reports and labor activists said.